sorts of programs that are not distributed to you. And such a fine job has been done with them. Mr. Cameron, you just take a moment. Pass the moment. Mrs. Simons, is she here? So we'll just wait a moment. I do have some more. For another one of our activities where we honor our top students. Everyone got quiet all of a sudden. It reminded me of awards night. I said, whoop, I guess it's time for the program to begin. And the audience tells us when it's time to begin. So I'd like to begin the program by asking Jackie Barry, our class president, to come up, please, and lead us in Pledge of Allegiance, and then for a welcoming speech. Please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi. On behalf of the class of 1998, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you here today to honor Jen and Michelle for their outstanding academic achievements.
With a smile like that, you need not say anything else. Very, very nice. She'll get better as we get into graduation activities, or longer-winded maybe is a better term. This is her first stab at it. There'll be many more opportunities before Sunday the 7th. And now greetings from the superintendent of school. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Ted Thibodeau.
Thank you. I'll try and be as brief as Jack. It's great to see such a crowd. This is the best attended ever. So on behalf of the central office and administration, I'd like to add my congratulations to the Valedictorian and Salutatorian. Congratulations also to those students who just missed, because in any race, you know, the pace setters help drive you further on. And also congratulations to your parents, relatives and friends, teachers past and present, and all those who have a hand in your success. I'm looking over your resumes. Very pleased to see that with all the work you had to do academically, you still had time for community service. I think that's an important part of what education is all about, and to see that you have time for that is heartwarming. See that you can apply your learning toward making the world a better place. So good luck and congratulations again.
Mr. Thibodeau is on the speaking rope today, as well as our next guest speaker, Mrs. Larkin, who's chair of the school committee. We were at a volunteer tea this morning at Hyman Fine. So here, Mrs. Larkin, another opportunity to say hello to some very nice people. Mrs. Jane Larkin.
Hello, I bring greetings from the school committee members who are unable to attend today. We had an opportunity to shake hands at our last school committee meeting with Jen and Michelle. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had an opportunity to observe and get to know a little bit more about Michelle and Jen. Jen was the master of ceremonies for the honor ceremony on awards night, and she did an outstanding job. I was very impressed. And I've also had an opportunity to observe some of Michelle's artwork, which was on display at the high school. I know to achieve this honor, you've had to have multi-talents, and I've observed some of them, in addition to your academic ability. Certainly am proud of you. Hope you go forth and tell everybody that you graduated from Attleboro High School, and I'm just here to congratulate you and hope the success continues and good luck next year. I'd like to ask Debbie Duna Scott to come forward. She has come today, and I'm sure she has some words of congratulations for you, too.
Hi, I didn't realize I was speaking today, so I'm a little unprepared, but I'm really honored to be a member of the school committee for Attleboro, and I'm really extra proud at these kind of occasions to say congratulations and all the success and the best wishes for everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we go on, I'd like to introduce to you Mom and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. Medeiros, if you would stand, please. And Mr. Barton, Mrs. Barton, and grandmother. When Mr. Thibodeau said that this was the largest assemblage that we've had for this activity, it used to be held at 2:15 in the afternoon out in front of the superintendent's office. None of our students had a chance to observe the ceremony, so we moved it to 1 o'clock so that our juniors and underclassmen can see what might very well be awaiting them as they approach their senior year or graduate. So this is wonderful. This is really nice that we have so many students and teachers to acknowledge the work that these two young ladies have done. When I spoke to the Student Council Convention recently, I said that an institution is the lengthened shadow of an individual. Now, that wasn't my language. That was Ralph Waldo Emerson saying a number of years ago. And here we have another example of the institution that we're doing here today, this valedictorian, salutatorian presentation. The shadow of the individual is a man who was named Harold Barbarian. And he is responsible for many of the archives that we have here at Attleboro High School. And I'll read to you a little bit about him. It was he who came up with the idea of the valedictorian, salutatorian plaques that go back to 1881, the first names to appear on this plaque. So when your children and their children come to Attleboro High School, they're going to see your name right up there in the top row on the far left. That was Harold Bavarian's gift to Attleboro. And just let me read a little bit here, because we usually don't say who was Harold Bavarian, folks, and what has that man done for this school and for this community. Throughout, he was a devotee of local history, particularly of Attleboro High School sports, and founded the sports archives at Attleboro High School. Those of you who have had Ms. Spatcher in her course have delved into those archives in the rear of Cafeteria B2. Came out a little dusty, maybe a little sneezing, but that's where many of them are. He was also responsible in the superintendent's lobby of that beautiful display case, of finding it, restoring it, and placing some items of interest in it. Now, Ms. Spatcher, I guess through maybe Mr. Thibodeau's suggestion, has filled in a display case across from where the clerks are, right next to the auditorium. And it's nice to see a remembrance of what Attleboro was back in those days. So if you have time, please go by and take a look at the heritage of your community. A display case at Attleboro High School is Mr. Bavarian's doing, said Larry Fitton, our town crier. He found the money to have it refurbished as he did for a painting and sculpted friezes, I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right, he found in the former Lincoln School. This is another columnist, Bill Stedman. Whether it was challenging the condition of the high school playing fields or trying to get coaches and students to do something about drugs, Bavarian had a sincere interest in the welfare of the kids in Attleboro. Of course, we all cringed a little bit when he said, "Hey kid, how are you?" As he walked through the door, you know he was looking for something, and he didn't not have a mild-mannered way about him. He wanted something, he got it, at the expense of some of our flesh, I think. But he did do a great deal for Attleboro, and it's because of him that we're having the ceremony today, as well as the remembrance of the accomplishment of these two young ladies. So I have a little bit of your resume, Michelle. I'd like to introduce you. I'd like you to come up if you will, and tell the underclassmen and some of your classmates what you had to do to become the salutatorian of the class of 1998. So please, Michelle Medeiros. You didn't know I was going to do that. You didn't.
Well,
You might want that just as a reminder.
oh, thank you. I just basically tried my best through all the years. That's really all I can say. I put like the 110% as people say, and just if I failed, I would try, and then after a while, you just say, okay, forget it, I can't do that. But yeah. That's how I got here. Really, just hard work. Always doing my homework when I didn't really want to, but I did it anyway. So I'd just like to say thank you to my parents and my friends and the teachers who are always there, and all the people at OGO who helped me also, and my work family also. Thank you.
Michelle mentioned the Office of Graduate Opportunities, and I asked Mr. McCarthy what role he wanted to play, and he'll have some words after to the group that we put the plaque up there. So the top person in the senior class, Jen Barton. Jen? And we're glad to see you gave 110%. I'm sure this young lady gave 110% also. Go ahead, Jen.
I guess I would reiterate what Michelle said, in that it took a lot of hard work for me to get where I am today. A lot of doing my homework every night and not going out sometimes. But I mean, I did my best, but I didn't concentrate on that. I just concentrated on like having a good time and doing all the stuff I did at high school, like track and student council and stuff. And that really made it a good experience for me here at our high school. And I'd like to thank my parents and my grandparents, my teachers, and all my friends that really helped me get where I am.
And now, Mr. McCarthy. Yeah, they are. Would you assist the young ladies, please? For your information, all those plates underneath those are empty, just waiting. And many years after we're not here, to have names just placed on it.
Last year, Mr. Roussel took me by surprise and asked me if I wanted to say a few words. I was on top of that ladder with a screwdriver trying to put those things in. So this year we simplified that process, and we've worked that out. Yesterday, I attended a brief a luncheon over at Highland Country Club, and a number of seniors came. It was a beautiful day, a great setting. The kids were dressed up. The food was great. And at the end of the day, I said to one of the students, wasn't that great? And she said to me, yes, Mr. McCarthy. And you want to know the best part about that? The talks were short. So I will try to be brief in my comments today. I'm close to being the senior person around here chronologically. I like to reminisce just a little bit. I passed by this plaque one day, maybe January or February, and I took a look at some of the names up there. And I said to myself, I wonder where those people are today. So I took the opportunity to write a letter to the salutatorian and the valedictorian of the class of 1973, the 25-year class, just to see where they are today. Cynthia Cobb was the salutatorian of the class of 1973. Cynthia wrote me a note. She said, thank you for your interest in my updated resume. It seems surprising to me that 25 years have passed, but the dates bear witness to its passage. After graduating from Attleboro High School, I attended Stonehill College in Northeastern and receiving my Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry, summa cum laude. I've used this degree in my work as a chemist, first at BASF and later at the Providence Metallizing Company, where I am currently employed. Also, as the letterhead indicates, I am married, and in parentheses she writes, happily, I may add. My husband and I have 3 children, all girls, which we enjoy very much. And Mrs. Cynthia Hill is now living in South Attleboro, Massachusetts. I then took a chance, and let me see if I can find the valedictorian of the class. The valedictorian was a little harder to find, but I finally tracked her down on 9 Heath Drive in London, England. Jane Casey, now Jane Casey Singer, attended Harvard. She graduated magna cum laude with a degree in history and science. She got a master's degree at Harvard and then received her PhD. And Jane writes that she is an art historian specializing in the art of Tibet. She tells me that she got her undergraduate and graduate degrees from Harvard, and she was awarded a Fulbright Fellowship for research. She's chairman of a 1994 international conference entitled The Definition of Style and the Arts of Tibet. And Jane also tells me that she's currently the co-curator of an exhibition of early art of Tibet, and it's organized by the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and that will open in the fall of 1998. Michelle and Jen, may you follow the pathway of those who have preceded you. Best of luck to both of you, and we wish you our best as you go to Skidmore and Rensselaer. I think Rensselaer gave me that one for nothing. Skidmore I had to pay for.
Thank you, Mr. McCarthy, for a fine job. And now to conclude and close our activities, bring back your class president, and thank you very much for attending, everybody.
In closing, I'd just like to say, as a fellow classmate and friend to both of you, that I truly admire and respect and have no idea how you did what you did. So congratulations again, and thank you all for joining us. Have a nice afternoon.
I'm sorry, but you must go back to class.